Okay, let me make sure that I understand this. The open rate for email these days is 10 to 30%, with an average of around 22% in our sector, education. And that certainly helps explain some of the problems in getting the message through to students via email. On the other hand, the open rate for text messaging these days is 98%. Yeah, that's about everybody. So you're saying that you're a professor, you're a teacher, you're a writing advisor, you want me to be texting my students? Yes. If that is their preferred form of communication, you would have your best chances of communicating with them with text messages, as you can see from the graphics. The conclusion is that communicating with your students via email these days is almost akin to expecting them to listen to their music via a transistor radio as opposed to their iPod. Email has really gone down that far in popularity. So, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to text message your students. You're going to, in giving those text messages, have more communication with your students, and therefore, by using their preferred form of communication, having more communication with them, you're going to be creating more of a sense of presence and co-presence for that student in that online course. Instead of them feeling isolated on their own in this online course, they're going to know that you're just a text message away. But, and it's a very big but, what about privacy? Do you really want students, all these students, knowing your phone number? And more important, considering FERPA, do you really want the legal responsibility and liability of having all of your students' phone numbers on your computer? No, you do not. And that's where Class Parrot comes in. Class Parrot, as you can see from the graphic, gives you a closed system of communication of text messaging. In other words, there is one phone number. That phone number is unique to each class that you sign up on Class Parrot. And you can sign up as many classes as you want on Class Parrot, and each has only one phone number. So you, as a teacher, type out your message on the computer, and it gets sent to your student's cell phone if they choose to opt in using that one telephone number that is stored and unique to your Class Parrot class. So it's a closed system. They don't know your phone number. You don't know their phone numbers. And the text messaging takes place in a safe, secure environment. Terrific. Now, the bottom line, how much does it cost? Well, Class Parrot is one of those free or almost free programs. When you sign up, you get the first 500 text messages free, and then each month after that, you get 200 text messages. So if you've got a class of 25 students, say, you can, during a month's time, text them 4 different times and get away for free. However, if you're really into it and you really like it, you can pay $9 per month and have unlimited text messaging to an unlimited number of classes. If you're in a group, like a group of writing advisors, a group of teachers in a writing program, the school, your school, can pay $1,000 to have 20 teachers have unlimited number of classes with unlimited number of text messages. So that's Class Parrot. It allows you instant, automatic, private, safe, secure text messaging to your students, free to a certain extent, and then very cheap after that. So let's take a look at how Class Parrot works. Signing up for Class Parrot is as easy as going to its eponymous URL and then clicking on the Teachers Sign Up for Free icon. The registration page is one of the most simple and private I've seen. You have to give only bare essentials. The email address you supply does not have to be your school-related address. Next, give your class a very specific name if you have any intention of using class Parrot in a serious way, and be sure to place a check mark in the Allow Students/Parents to reply if you want to receive text messages as well as send them. Clicking on Add takes you to a very important page. It contains two unique bits of information. First, the phone number assigned to this class and other classes that you will create on Class Parrot, and then the unique message that will allow a student to opt into that particular class to receive your text messages. It's advisable to keep a record of both of these items for each class that you create. I took the advice down at the bottom and tested out the system by inviting my wife Christy to join. I sent her an email with the phone number and message that you see on this screen at DRDT. Here is an image of what she received on her phone. The Class Parrot system interprets the at DRDT message as a request to join a list, similar to how Twitter works. And Class Parrot responded with a thanks to Christy for wanting to join and then ask for her full name. When she texts back her full name, here is the confirmation welcome message she received back on her phone from Class Parrot. Note that she, the student, is assured her phone number will remain private. Next, I added a real class of students from the current session. As writing fellows, you also have access to the student roster of any class you're working in. As you know, that list is currently accessed by clicking on Class Members on the course homepage, then checking All Students at the bottom of the page, and finally by selecting Send an Email to selected class members. Now, what happens next depends upon how you have your computer's email client configured. However that is, be sure to put your students' email addresses in a BCC line. Then add your invitation based upon the class-specific information that Class Parrot provided you whenever you signed up the class. Click Send, and Class Parrot pretty much takes care of the rest. The students who opt in will show up on a class list by name only. As you can see, each class has its own dashboard and message center with the following features. First, notifications. Here I'm being told a student, Christy, has opted in. Notice that I see only the name, no other personal information. Create Poll is a really cool function that aggregates total student response to questions like, do you need an extension on the assignment, but even more realistic questions that you would like to know the answer to about assigned readings and so on. Members provide you an up-to-date list of students who have accepted the invitation to receive your text. Setup provides the phone number and class unique identifier in case it needs to be given out again. And finally, adding an additional class is as easy as clicking on the link and then copying, pasting the class code from WebTyco. Notice that another unique identifier has been generated for this new class. Okay, best wishes with your use of Class Parrot. I think it's going to give us a real distinction and real advantage in communicating with our students.